Peppy, I want ice cream too. I feel like I deserve ice cream. Guys, welcome to Wally's World Live on Friday night. I just need to do a very quick knicker check in the background. I think we're all right. I'm going to remove that product placement right there. Just go away. And guys, yes, so we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it is a little bit of a pain in the bum. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, I have Steve here with me, Steve Byrne, and Steve has a cottage just up the road here called Lackan Farm, and what he does is he is living self-sustainably. I don't know if he's 100% off grid, but he's not far away from it, guys, and he's growing his all, you know, he's doing loads of stuff, guys. He's really interesting. Get your questions there, and let's see him. Let's have the crack and see, especially for us guys here in the north of Ireland or in Ireland, and the people in the UK as well, guys. Like this man is living it. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys over in the States are living it as well, but for us it's slightly different. So it's good to have his perspective on it and to see what works and what works well, what's a bit of a myth, you know. So no point me rambling on. Ed, how's it going? Guys, so listen, there's no point me rambling on. Let's say hello to Steve.
Hello.
How's it going? Guys, Steve, you're very welcome. Let's get the fingers crossed.
Fingers
this
crossed.
Does not all just go. Not that way. Tits up is the term, isn't it? Yes. So yeah. So listen, it'll work. Everything will be fine. We'll wing it.
I'm sure it will.
And we'll see what happens. So, Steve, listen, You're very welcome. Thanks very much for taking the time out of your life to come on to this madness and mayhem that is a Wally's World Friday Night Live. So, listen, can you see the comments there on your screen as well?
I can, yeah. I have them here. Yeah, I'm just
Lovely
trying
stuff.
I don't think I can actually type in there, but I can see them.
Okay. 100%. That's fine. Look, you just answer them as they come up. If there's anything interesting there, I didn't even know I could do that. Ed, look at that. You're famous. So I don't know how long it stays there or how to get it to go away either.
Okay. And if you can't hear me at some point, let me know.
Okay. So look, Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'll do this in sort of short sentences so that it gets through. So I've lived off grid for about 12 years now.
How many?
First, I lived in a truck, converted horse box for a couple of years. Our friend's farm, because it was better than renting, and I was fed up with paying lots of bills and to other people. So I converted a truck and I lived in a truck. And then when I married my wife Claire, we moved up here, found this place which was derelict, and we'd been looking around the country all over the place, looking at places to live and looking at communities and just seeing what people were doing. And I went off to Wales and I volunteered on some projects there, did some green building work, in communities to get some, to get my eye in and get practice. And we bought this place and we've been at it ever since, really. We've been gradually doing it up, and we're kind of at the stage now where it's reasonably comfortable and everything, touch wood, works most of the time. And we try all sorts of stuff. We have people here to the farm to do courses and come and visit. So we try stuff out, really, just so people can see it, because I always read about this stuff, and you never know whether it's going to work until you actually try it. So I tend to try it, better or worse.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So for what I find is a lot of stuff that we over here think we know about off-grid living and stuff like that is all directly influenced from Canada and the States. And you know, not necessarily everything that works over there is going to work over here.
No.
Does that make sense?
No, and even a lot of stuff that works in England and the south of England, you know, doesn't translate well to the west of Ireland, where a lot of people I know live. Ed. Yeah, Ed says, did you go to the Centre for Alternative? Yes, we did. That was one of the first places we went, was Cat in Wales. And an eco village called Lammas, which is not too far away from there. All those places. Wales is great because it's full of people doing all sorts of mad stuff. You know, every kind of from teepee communities to people building roundhouses to, you know, people living in buses, all sorts of stuff happening there. There's a bit of that down in sort of West Cork, but there's not as much, you know, this end of the country, there's nothing really. Donegal's full of lunatics who are all hiding out. Plenty over there, which is great, you know.
Which had the most amount of lunatics, Wales or West Cork?
Oh, I would say West Cork. It's got its own special brand. No, West Cork, I would think.
West Cork.
Yeah. Less of them.
A friend of mine used to run an outdoor centre down in West Cork. He called them hedge monkeys. I think it was like hedge fund and crazy monkeys put together. He said there was a lot of people with a lot of crazy ideas that just sort of hung out in West Cork. Yeah.
There's a community. A lot of people came from Germany in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
Big community of Germans down that way, but they do groovy stuff, you know. Were there any key ideas I got from Kat, Ed? All sorts. Where I looked at everything, because especially the renewables. I probably spent more time than is healthy looking at their compost toilets. Mainly the energy for Kat, you know.
Tell me this. Sorry, Steve. Before you go on, how is the stream working for everybody? Can everybody hear everything that's going on? Because we did have some technical issues.
Any response?
I don't know what sort of a lag is on this. You see, Steve, if you go live on YouTube, there's a minute. So if somebody types something, it takes a minute for it to appear.
Okay. Ed says the stream is good.
The YouTube algorithm has to check. Oh, the stream is fine. Oh, brilliant. So look, it's my fault then.
Okay, it's all you.
You're saying
I was gonna do this from a roundhouse, which looks lovely, rather than in front of the toilet. But there you go.
There you go. So look, it must be an issue on my end. As long as you can hear me and everybody else can hear you, that's 100%. I don't really mind. They're sick of listening to me talking crap anyway. So excellent, guys. No, that's really, really good to hear. So listen, guys, the thing is that tell them where you are, Steve, and whereabouts in the world you are and what you're doing at the minute.
Okay, we're in South Down, about 5 miles from Castlewellan. So I know what we're 20 minutes north of Newry, if anyone's getting their bearings. We can look at the back. We look at the back of the Mourne Mountains, so the sea is not far away from us here. We're in a bit of a weird microclimate. Kate's Bridge, if you ever look at the weather forecast in Northern Ireland, Kate's Bridge is always given to be the coldest place on Earth, and that's basically where we are. So it's pretty chilly.
It'll be cold tonight.
It is. It's really clear, lovely night.
Yeah.
The moon is up and all that.
I have to get into my barrel tomorrow.
Oh,
I might leave it till the afternoon.
Yeah, Christ. I don't envy you that. I'm looking at how off grid am I? I'm off grid completely for my energy. So we don't have a mains connection here. Fuel, we're completely off grid. So we do our own firewood. I'm just burning my own trees that I planted when I got here. We make biogas as well for cooking. Although at this time of the year we're running the range. Water, we have a bit of rainwater harvesting. We do have mains water, but I'm waiting to get a well bored so that we won't have to rely on that. And food comes and goes, you know. We're not brilliant at the food, but we do a fair bit here. So we're getting there. It's a long job, you know. We've been at this 10 years here.
Endless.
Yeah. Okay, Ed, you're not far away. Just north of Downpatrick. Only up the road.
Yeah. For you. First bin for me.
Yeah. What methods do you use to produce electricity? With mainly solar. I have a wind turbine as well. Let's
listen.
Don't worry
guys.
about it. I'm used to it.
Steve's well fit to handle you, say. Don't be worried about
okay.
him.
So don't worry. We've mainly solar with a bit of wind, although the wind turbine's not actually working at the moment. I'm getting it fixed. I'm just looking at the comments here.
So listen, go back to this firewood you were talking about again. This is something that we were chatting about earlier on that I found really interesting, right? So it's something coppicing. What you're doing is coppicing. So
that's right. Yeah.
So how long ago did you plant out those trees? And what you said they were alder.
So yeah, it's mostly alder, and they went in maybe nearly 9 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, because we put them in. You know, every year we plant more, but we started 8 or 9 years ago, and last year was the first year that I cut properly. You know, I cut them properly. We planted a bit of birch as well, but it just doesn't come back anywhere near as well as the alder. But it's a good size, like, you know. And we cut enough to fill. I filled 2 cube. I use the IBC cubes, you know, the frames to store it. So I filled 2 of those last year to see how we get on. Do we plant for biomass? Yeah, we're just burning it, basically. We planted lots that we're not going to cut down. It's the habitat as well, but the firewood side is all alder. And I scrounge a lot as well. You know, I mean, I'm always looking for firewood.
Well, this is me. I'm a firewood scrounger, complete scrounger, and I find that I am in a position where I cannot refuse anything. So,
no, ever.
Sometimes there's a glut, sometimes there's a famine. That's just the way it is.
No, never turn anything down. What sort of chainsaws do I use?
I told you, we are 12 minutes and 52 seconds in, and they want to know what brand you're into. This is when it gets rough.
I use Gränsfors axes, Swedish made, and I've got still saws. We've already been down this road. I say I've even got a still splitting maul. So,
is your dog okay?
Is my dog okay? My dog's being violently sick all over the kitchen behind me. Kind of in tribute. I think yours has played up in the past, so mine's joining in this week.
Yes.
Coughing up lunch everywhere.
Yeah, that's what dogs do. Just when you think you've got them sorted, they embarrass you in front of the millions of people watching on the internet.
How thick is the 9-year-old alder you're coppicing? Varies, Stuart. Some of it would be, I don't know, we would be up to about 8 inches, some of it, the bigger ones, downwards. I mean, quite a lot of it we don't have to split, which is great. I don't want it to get too big because I don't want to have to split too much of it. There goes the dog again.
See, we're all professionals, guys. We're all professionals. Everything's running 100%. Even like I can hardly hear what you're saying, but everybody else can. But look, I found this really interesting, right? Because years ago when I was looking into being more self-sufficient and stuff like that, that's where I stumbled across your Facebook page, and it's quite a while ago. Mm-hmm. And this, what they call closing the circle, is something that interested me, where people were composting their own waste, their own feces and stuff like that, to put it back on the land and stuff like that, to grow their own vegetables. So their own waste was growing their own vegetables. They were eating, making more waste, growing more vegetables, blah, blah, blah. Circle is complete. The circle of life, you know, it's like a Disney wrote a movie about it. But what you were saying about the coppicing, right, to me is the same thing, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. So you could set it out in a 10-year grid.
Yeah.
But you're going to be only planting whatever amount of wood you need every year. So it's a 10-year plan. And once those 10 years are up, you should be able to just cycle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea. It's not quite that organized, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. It's a brilliant concept.
So we haven't got a huge. Someone asked how much space we've got. We've got about how many trees we've planted. I've planted a couple of acres of new coppice, and we had 2 or 3 acres of existing woodland. But I'm hoping that the 2 acres I've got, if I break it down, will provide enough. But I'm not really going to know until we're further in, you know. And maybe that we have to plant more. We've got a bit more space. Maybe we'll have to plant more later on.
Right.
But we'll see. Do I have standard stoves or boiler stoves? I've got a very elderly, well-stood range cooker that burns wood, has a back boiler. So that heats our water. And then we've got a Danish, really efficient Danish wood burner in one room in our kind of big living room. And then we've got this pellet boiler that I got off Free Cycle, which is my best score yet. And we have a second holiday cottage here as well that we let out. It's going to be for our retirement, hopefully. And the pellet boiler heats both the cottages, so we've got like a little district heating system. And the other cottage also has a wood burner with a back boiler. So in kind of prepping terms, it's kind of fail safe. So if we don't have power, the boiler stoves, you can always have heat, you can always cook, and you can always have hot water without needing any electricity. So where do I get my alder? I got Trees on the Land scheme. It's island wide. They do it every year. They used to be free and now they're subsidized, but they're cheap. Or NI Farm Forestry up in Dundonald direction. Tony something. He has cheap trees. But that's the main sources of them. There's 3 still users, by the way. Really can't.
But listen, we were talking about saws earlier on, right? And what you were saying about your most used saw, I found really interesting. Okay, now you're going to have to tell them the crack about this saw, right? Because they're all about saws. I told you this. They're going to nail you on chainsaw stuff. So
okay, so I have my main saw has always been 261C still, which is great, and it's pretty unbreakable, and I've cut the stuff with it. And then I can't know what happened now. I was getting a carb looked at or something. Anyway, I got this little electric still, more as an experiment than anything else. And actually, in the end, I'm doing, I reckon, I may be nearly more than half my cutting with the electric still, which surprised me a lot. It's real handy, and we charge it off the solar. But yeah, I'm surprised how good it is.
What about battery life? How does it run?
Battery life, how long does it run? Well, I say usually it runs until I need a cup of tea. It's my length of time, until I'm puffed. I probably get a good half hour's cutting time out of it, which with 2 batteries, you know, I mean, I'm only doing trimming, and I'm snedding stuff off big branches. For that kind of thing, you're not running it all the time either. Yay! I'm not a fan of the 261C.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's serious technical issues on my end. I'm having problems even getting these banners to appear up. But it's interesting, right? So, like, a lot of this topic of conversation came about through just through everything being so stupidly expensive at the minute, and you know, and and how maybe it is pushing people who are sort of on the edge of all this stuff. It's sort of pushing them into a more self-sustainable lifestyle, or into a more, people who are thinking, maybe I could try going off grid, or sort of, it's pushing them to that step. But what would you think would be the first step that people could take? I know it's different for everybody, but for like your standard person like me, who is just in a housing estate somewhere, let's start there.
Let's start there. Well, I suppose I would go where the cost is the most, to be honest with you. Like, there's things that are easy. You could harvest rainwater. Ed's just saying there, how do you purify it? Well, I use standard 10-inch filters, which you can get in Screwfix.
Just a standard filter?
Standard 10-inch filter housings and standard 10-inch cartridges. I have 3. So I have a sediment filter, which is like a sort of string. I have a carbon filter, and I have a ceramic filter. And once you've put it through those, there's a, I would trust it if it's come off the roof. That would take enough out. I haven't gone with UV because I just haven't really got around to it. But I'm still alive.
Yes.
Which is a reasonable test,
But you said you have a well.
No, we don't have a well at the moment. We just have the rainwater. I want to get a well drilled, but it's seriously expensive job.
Yeah, to get it dug.
Yeah, it's like €9,000.
How much? Say it again.
9 grand.
No, I'm not getting that.
$9 grand.
We go on
Write it down. 9. 9
grand.
9,000.
Jesus
9,000. Yeah.
That's mental.
That's an 80-meter well.
That is mental. So look, if somebody's coming up to you and they're saying, "Oh, you're off grid. That's amazing. I want to be off grid and do all this and live in the woods and be a sprite and stuff." What is the most common thing that they ask you about?
What is the most common thing they ask me about? It depends what sex they are. Men always ask about the energy side of things, and women tend to ask about food side of things.
Food?
Yeah. Women tend to ask about food, but everyone wants to know about, at the moment, solar, because electricity bills are really big.
Yes.
And it seems like, it's a good idea. So if you're going to go off grid, then probably your energy is the first step. And I would say start small and experiment, do a shed or something like that. That's how I started. Because if you're going to fry equipment, you want to fry small equipment, not big equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Instead of frying the whole house, blowing out the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. Go and
put
something on the roof of the shed, charge your tools, get the lights on, and then work up. We used to just have the lights in when we first started, we just ran the lights in the house from the solar, and we had a generator, and we kind of went from there. And that's usually that's how people start out. How's the Wi-Fi?
How's the Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi is great. I'm not off grid for internet. I've got fiber. It's great.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is shocking. I don't have a clue what's going on.
When we were in the truck, what we used to do was I got one of those massive aerials, and it lets you anyone who's got an unlocked Wi-Fi network within about 1 kilometer is fair game. So we just used to stick it on a pole and put it in the air and connect to whoever we could. And we did that for about a year, and that worked great. But you can't do that forever. Yeah.
That's the thing. So we're hooked straight into BT here.
Yeah,
as you are.
It's one of those things. It's very easy to get into a pissing contest about being off grid. If you're like, and the end game is literally living in a shelter in the woods, making your own clothes from dead animals. I'm at the. I still want to be reasonably comfy, and I've got a child and stuff. So, what size is PV system? What brand? Okay, the PV system is about 9 kilowatt. About half of that are old second-hand panels that we got off someone else, and half of them are kind of quite newish sort of panels. And all our kit is Victron, because I'm a Victron distributor. I'm a Victron distributor because I use the kit, not the other way around. So that's just ended up being what I do. So, yeah, and yes, bird shit is a problem on the roof. But if you use all three filters, then avian kind of borne viruses, you should be safe enough from that.
Right.
That's the one.
That's something I hadn't even considered.
The two things you've got to worry about are rats and mice.
Wheels disease.
Wheels disease, and then the other one would be birds carry all sorts of weird and wonderful, like bird flu. But they carry various other things as well, so you really don't want to be getting that. But ceramic filter should take that out.
And is that an inline ceramic filter, and not like you're not going in, you're not hand filtering stuff or anything like that?
No, it's a bit like the Berge filters you get where you put it in a jug and you pour it out. It's like that, but it's inline. They're very fine. They slow the water flow down a good bit, but
yes,
but they do the job.
And how often do you need to clean off these filters? I ask you this because I remember filtering when we were on expedition. We had to filter all our water. We were in the jungle and we had a big ceramic filter, and it was like a big pump. You're pumping water into the filter and pumping it out the other side, and it was a pain in the arse. But it took so long, and every time you were finished, you had to clean off the filter and put it back together for the next person to use.
Every couple of months.
Okay, so yes, well that was 23 years ago. I'm sure technology has moved on a little bit since then.
I don't know. I think it's because the water is, so when the water comes off the roof, we put it through a sock filter, which basically is like, for a while it actually was a sock, but it's just a fabric filter to take the lumps out, and then it goes into tanks and settles. So the stuff you're drawing off the tanks hasn't got any kind of particles in it. So that would make them, yeah, Simon, that's right.
And would you be boiling water or anything like that afterwards, or would you just be drinking it straight away?
I haven't got time for that, no.
No, just drink it.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, cool.
9 kilowatt DC side, will that allow 9 kilowatt AC on the inside if the weather conditions? Perfect. Well, that depends. It's all down. It's not about the PV, it's about the size of your inverter. So we've got an 8 kVA inverter, which is enough for what we need to do. If you're going to be off grid and you need more than 8 or 10 kVA, then you probably should be trying to find ways to use less, to be honest. What size battery storage? I've got 2 forklift packs here, so I've got about 24 kilowatt of usable storage, something like that. But they're getting on a bit now, so maybe less. But it's good basic technology. So.
Doug, we were the same. I drank from every river, drank from puddles as well. It didn't really bother me at all. It wasn't until I went away on expedition that somebody said we needed to filter stuff. I was like, what? Water's dirty? Nah, can't be. Crazy times, huh?
What other questions we got there? Where's a good place to research solar panel options? At the risk of self-promotion, offgridkit.ie. Stuart. There.
You guys are so far ahead of the game with this stuff. It's unbelievable. Power.
Ed's putting 22 kilowatt. Ed, what batteries are you using?
Well, Pat, how's it going?
Who else is in the solo game here?
So tell me this now. I don't know if you have covered some of this already. So if you have covered it, somebody just type it into the comments. Because as I said, I'm not getting a lot of this coming through on my end. But how much of your own, how self-sufficient are you guys in relation to food and stuff like that?
For food, it varies. Depends on the time of year and how attentive we've been to what we're doing. So, like, sometimes we've got lots and lots of potatoes and onions and garlic and kale, and depends how much you like eating potatoes, onions, garlic, and kale.
Yeah,
and chickens. So,
do you eat the chickens or just the eggs?
I'll eat the chickens. Not at the moment, but I mean, I haven't got enough at the moment. But I do eat the chickens when there's enough of them.
Sorry.
The dog's come back to be sick again. It's haunting me. Oh.
Pappy self-sufficient in ice cream. There's an ice cream trend that goes here. It happens every week. Okay. So don't Pappy, the great Cornholio, will come on in 5 different guises and he'll start talking about ice cream. It's okay. We've accepted his addiction to ice cream now. But listen, what was I going to say? So I'm lost now. I forgot what I was going to say because I started talking about ice cream. This is common as well, where I get lost. So
food. You're talking about food.
Oh, food. Yes, food. What was it?
Growing your food. It's the hardest bit of the whole thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
You think food is?
Yeah.
Is it the most? It's the most work. And there was something that we started talking about earlier on before we came on, and that was the trend. I'm going to say the trend of the online self-sufficient person, right?
Yeah. Oh, so, loads of channels.
How for me, having a family is a massive hurdle to self-sufficiency.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
Because
a lot of we were saying
hurdle is not the right word, I suppose. Obstacle.
It makes it, it probably makes it trickier. We were saying that, there are a couple of channels of guys who are single guys living on their own and very self-sufficient, but they haven't got to worry about, they're things like their kids will only eat, well, in my case, kids will only eat chicken nuggets or whatever it is. You can't feed everyone. Whereas I might just eat out of the garden, but you've got to think about everyone else.
Yes.
And if it's dark and you don't want to do any washing this week, well, it's not the end of the world if you're on your own.
Yes, of course. Yes, but you don't have school uniforms to wash.
Yeah.
You're not making lunches in the morning. You're not needing a shower every day or every second day, depending on what age they are. So of course, Simon. I don't mean it like that. I mean that if you are a single person, to get into this lifestyle is a hell of a lot easier than to sort of fall into it when you already have a family. Unless you've grown up on a farm or something, so.
Yeah. Indiana, is hunting and fishing a big thing there? Hunting, well, around here, hunting is to a certain extent, rabbits, that kind of thing. It's harder to, it's a lot harder to own a gun here. But you're allowed a rifle for pest control, that kind of thing. So to a certain extent, we can pigeons, rabbits. We don't have access to the same big game as you guys do in the States. No. Well, it just isn't there.
Yeah. We don't
exist.
have the thousands and thousands of deer and stuff, in our forests or anything like that. Tom, you got a good point. And yes, and to be honest, we started out doing that and growing more, I suppose more expensive things, but then we have, in the end, it's quite easy and it's quite handy having stuff on hand. Things like onions and potatoes and garlic, are staples.
but they grow well here and they're quite easy. So we do quite a lot of those. And yeah, we try and grow things that are nice. You know, we got lots of soft fruit like raspberries and apples and all that kind of thing. We've got a peach tree in the tunnel and grapes, and you know, that's quite nice. Hey, really?
I did. Look. With that one. It's this end of the knife talk already. 35 minutes. We're doing all right that we haven't got two.
I haven't got a handy.
So look, tell me what is your easiest, if you were to start out and you were like going, right, well, I'm going to start my own wee garden, besides spuds, what is the easiest to grow?
The easiest thing to grow, assuming you like eating it, stuff like we grow lots of let's say kale and garlic. If everyone buys garlic in the supermarket, it's all grown in Spain and China. It grows like you can't stop it. Yeah, it's really handy. I tend to put it in everything. Do you preserve what you produce? Yeah, we do. If so, what do you do? Well, stuff like we grew like tons of tomatoes, so we tend to eat lots of bolognese and pasta and that kind of thing. So all the tomatoes go in jars, and then we've got like bolognese sauce ready when we need it. So I've got it. Yeah. Well, in jar, it's called canning, but it's jars,
Yeah, Kilner jars. Yeah.
Something like that. Well, they're just
jars,
yeah, not the posh Kilner jars, but yeah, that kind of thing. We stick it all in jars. What else do we produce? We do freeze quite a lot of stuff, and we pasteurize things like grape juice and that kind of thing. Anything liquid, we pasteurize it. We've done lots of what have we done? Things in vinegar and that sort of thing. But do you know what? It's making sure you do actually eat them. We've got a lot of unidentifiable jars of stuff that we produced in the early days. No one's quite sure what's in them.
Labels are the key.
How do you
cope? You're very welcome, buddy.
We try and swap. So around here, what we have is we've got 4 families who are doing vaguely similar things. We've got one family who have they've got like 4 cows. There's a dog off again. 4 cows. We've got another family who've got lots of ducks and chickens. Another one who grows a lot of veg, and we swap. If I've got too much, this year we've got too many onions, so we'll swap our onions for something else. Community is the way to deal with this. I don't mean living.
So what you're saying is we should all sell our houses, sell everything we own, start a big commune somewhere. Everybody grow their own food and do that. And kill animals and eat them and stuff like that. And
don't do that.
Everything will be right with the world, and it definitely won't turn into the Lord of the Flies.
You'll end up with Waco. Don't do that. Just you need to do it with the neighbors you already have if you can.
Yeah.
Do I have a full-time job? Not really. I do. What I do is I sell solar and I go around the country helping people to live in shacks, basically, and tell them how they can provide energy and food and doing this sort of stuff. So that is my full-time job. Mostly solar at the moment, energy storage systems, that kind of thing. We run courses and that in the summer, which used to be all our income. But at the moment, solar's busy, so I'm going with it. Do we keep any other livestock? We're going to once the trees get big enough to be sure that they won't get eaten, we'll probably put some sheep under them. I think that's probably a plan. I was going to get pigs, but there's people up the road have pigs, so I'm not going to go there because we've had the pigs before, and they're a pain in the hole. Oh, dog, stop! Poor dog. He's gone quiet.
There's Lily. Look up. I also get a lot of interruptions by dogs and children. This is what happens, Steve, every week. Bruno will come up and try and get on my knee and sit up on my lap, but he is a micro cow. It's like a cow that you put in the microwave.
I'm ready.
Right, Pat, take it easy. Take it easy, Pat. Don't, there's a good question there from Stuart.
Can I find an online guide? I honestly don't know. I don't.
Human, how's it going?
I don't know of an online guide, to be honest with you. There will be. I think we bought a book about it. CAP, the Center for Alternative Technology, their bookstore online has got books on everything, all this stuff, and they do a book on water, which is all about filtering it, collecting it, dealing with it, and it's very, very good. So I would recommend the CAP bookstore. Yeah. Still going.
I can hear that, no problem.
The gift that I don't know what she's eating. She's eating something really stupid.
What is it? What type of dog is it?
She's a working Cocker Spaniel cross Labrador. So the Labrador will eat anything.
Okay.
And the working Cocker Spaniel hasn't got the sense to stop it.
Sounds like Bruno. There's a question. Did you see that question there about solar panels from Simon?
What's the current availability of solar panels? Can you still get any bargains? No, Simon, you can't get any bargains. I would say the availability is not bad, but it varies as to what sizes you can get on any given day. Prices of everything are only going one way at the moment.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's just crazy. And not in small, not by small amounts either. They're going up stupid amounts.
No, it's mental. It's mental. I even see that the price of secondhand cars is still going up. It's not even coming down. It's just nuts. It's unbelievable. How are people ever supposed to do anything? I don't understand it. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand how, around here, there's houses going for sale for £400,000, and they're being sold.
Yeah.
Who's buying them?
I don't know where people have found the money, but yeah, it is. Stop feeding the dog kale. I'm going to let the dog out. The dog wants out. But I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, here. Listen, give him the poor old dog kale. Okay, look. Here's the thing. We're not finished yet. We'll give it a few more minutes. But Steve, I am going to go up and visit Steve as well. So if there is any sign or any part of his farm that you are really interested in, let me know, and we'll do a video on it. We'll either do a video on the whole thing, or we can break it up into a couple of different segments as well. Okay.
We haven't talked about biogas. We should talk about the biogas. I'm very proud.
Biogas. Yeah, we nearly forgot about the biogas. That's like the coolest thing ever.
Make your food waste into cooking gas.
Yeah, no problem, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant, and it's cheap to do, and it's pretty simple. I'll give you the links to the biogas stuff actually, and you can post those up.
Yeah, I'll work away in the background. You keep chatting there.
Okay. Yeah, the biogas, it's a great system because you put your food waste in, it makes cooking gas. Byproduct is liquid fertilizer that you put in your garden to grow more food, which you then eat. You get food waste, and then you put it back on the garden. If you go to the website, there's a lot of stuff about the self-catering cottage, but if you find where's the right section? It's got a bit about all the projects we have here. So we have to have it quite self-catering cottagey because that's our income.
I love your earth chip. It's class.
Well, that's another closed system. So that we collect rainwater, it feeds the beds in there, we grow the food in there, and then we can pump water out of that to flush the toilet out of the beds. There's a whole Earthship type system in there. Hang on. What links are you putting? On projects, so the projects link is the one you want. You go to projects menu on our website. There's a lot of stuff there. It's a bit out of date.
It's very, very interesting. And I'll post this one up, and then I'll come back. And tell me this. I know, Simon.
Like my dog.
When you built the Earthship, is it just attached to the front of a building, or did you dig it into the
Oh no, it's so the back. So our cottage is just a regular 3-roomed cottage. It's a stone 3-room cottage.
Right.
On the south side of that is a straw bale timber frame room. That is basically our living room. And then on the front of that is the kind of glass bit, if you like. And that's made out of shower walls. So that's 8mm shower walls that we got from a plumber.
The comments have a habit of going a bit mad.
No,
I just let them go. Sometimes it's better not respond. Have you ever built an Earthship before?
No, I haven't. I've looked at the whole. I don't know if you've seen Garbage Warrior, the film by Michael. Yeah,
some work ramming all them tires, boy.
They do, but and have you ever tried pounding tires? Because it's not. It's a horrible job. It's hard work.
Looks extremely hard. Extremely hard.
They don't work very well in our climate.
What about your roundhouse? Did you build your roundhouse yourself?
Yes, I did. And then they're not terribly hard to build. We did it over a week. So it's again a little timber frame made out of birch from the woods, straw bale walls, mud. It's got earth plaster on it.
Right.
The plastering is the longest bit of that. Ed.
We have to read one out now, Ed, don't we? Yeah, I know the Earthships are just in theory they are amazing, but in practice do they work that well?
They do in Mexico.
Yes, of course. New Mexico, everything like that.
New Mexico, they work great. You can adapt them. Well, you can adapt them to work. You can adapt the idea to work here, yeah. But you can't just build them like as his design and have them work here, because it's too damp and we don't get the heat here.
Yeah. They
rely on a lot of heat to kind of charge up that big thermal mass in the summer. Oh, I've gone.
Sorry, my fault.
And we don't get enough heat here. So, but you can build something very like them. I mean, this is basically an Earthship. It's a self-sustaining building, that makes its own electricity and deals with its own waste, which is what the Earthships are.
See, I'm interested in the roundhouse. You see, I think I would like a little roundhouse down at Red Branch, But then, at what stage do I stop building stuff at Red Branch and it just turns into like just a collection of eccentric buildings? Well, handmade from scrap.
That's right.
But it would be cool. I love the roof. The self-supporting roof.
Yeah, the reciprocal roof. Yeah.
There's a question about biodiesel.
Biodiesel. No, I've never got into the biodiesel. It's just not something I've looked at it, but I never really got around to it. I suspect it's one of those ideas that I suspect I'd end up needing more equipment and it being a bit more technical than I think it is. And I wasn't ready to risk my car. on it.
Yes, driving down the road and your car bursting into flames is not really.
Or it just not running. You know, it's just not working. Better off with the better put it in track to be all right. Older engines are usually okay with it, but I think it's fairly involved to do it well. Like all these things, you know.
There's a really good video about that I watched years ago about. Hang on, I'm trying to get a picture up for you as well. For Doug was asking the question there again about the roundhouse.
Oh,
but I watched this really good video back when I was really into kayaking and stuff. About these guys who traveled from Alaska to Mexico and in a van, in a VW camper van, but the VW camper van was converted to run on oil, like cooking oil. So when they're traveling through different parts of the world, different parts of the Americas, their van smells like all these different parts because they're getting used cooking oil from all these different places. So they're running it in salmon oil when they're up in Canada. They're running it. It's mad. It's mad.
Oh. How can I post a link up to show Doug what a roundhouse is?
Can you comment? Can you comment in the comment section?
I'm not sure I can actually comment in the comment section. There's nowhere for me to comment.
I don't know. I don't know. If you send me the link on Facebook Messenger, I'll copy and paste it across.
I've put everyone. I've pasted. Can you see that comment in private chat?
Yeah.
Can you copy that and paste it? I don't know if that doesn't. Because I can't. I can see the comments going past, but I can't actually add to it. So that is, if you post that up, that is a guy called Tony Wrench, who's like the godfather of roundhouse building. Tony's place is in Wales.
Where did you send me that comment? Sorry, Steve.
In private chat.
Where the hell's the private chat? Oh, I see it. I didn't even know that existed.
It's just next to comments at the top there. Do you have any courses? No, we've haven't done courses this year.
Myself and Doug did this one time before. I went on Doug's channel, so he knows all about this stuff. Whereas we are completely just not making this up as we go along. Definitely not. Complete professionals here.
So, actually, a big part of what we do is you talk about food. I make a lot of wine out of stuff. Wine and beer.
Nice. I'm a teetotaler, so I'm going to say nice anyway. Well, that's the Irish in me, you know. Beer.
I save a fortune by making beer wine out of pretty much everything.
And you're growing all your own grapes as well, or did you cover that already?
I do. Actually, they're the only thing I don't make wine out of.
My auntie has a wee greenhouse at the back of her house, and she grows the most amazing grapes in it every year. Down in Fork Hill, it's crazy.
Is she making wine out of them?
No.
I do gorse wine, dandelion, elderflower, parsnip.
Parsnip wine.
Doesn't taste of parsnips. Don't worry, it's amazing. I'm actually growing parsnips just to make wine.
You're growing parsnips just to make wine out of them?
Just to make wine. How much to make? I made about 40 or 50 gallons last year. Not of parsnip wine, of wine.
You have 40 or 50 gallons of wine? Really?
Yeah, it's a long winter.
That's like
industrial.
That's apocalypse wine. That's what that is.
You gotta be ready.
Oh, here, hang on a second. What have I done there? Doesn't matter. Go on ahead. That's me clicking on links to see what was going on, and then it's playing in the background. You make mead as well?
No, I don't. I've never made mead actually. We've hosted other people's bees here, but we haven't got any of our own yet. But it's in the it's on the list.
Do you make mead out of honey, or is that just one type of it?
No, I think mead has to involve honey, doesn't it? I think so. I don't know. So,
okay, 100%. Listen, I tell you what, there was one more thing No, that's it. We've done it. No, I tell you what it is, right? And this is something that came up when this is a question that you put to me, or this was a topic that you put to me when you watched back our live stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was about solar and misconceptions around solar based on your experience.
Oh, people tell me that it won't work here. Yeah, well, I mean, I think actually at the moment that's kind of gone by the by, because everyone's fit, like everyone in Ireland's fitting solar right now. You know, you can't get through on solar alone if you want to go off grid. You have to have something else. So it's either going to be wind or a generator or whatever. But you can get most of the year with solar. You know, you get through maybe 9 months of the year just with solar.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and you need to be again. I get people asking me about it, and they've got an electric shower, and they've got an electric oven, and they've got an electric car, and they're like, "That's not going to happen."
Yeah.
So but you know, like in the summer we cook on electric induction hob because we've got more power and we know what to do with. And then at this time of the year, we're cooking on either biogas, which is kind of, you know, that's kind of slowing down now, or we got the range lit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of horses for courses. You know, you need to have different things to do when it's available. You know.
Yeah. So it's basically not all. You're not putting all your faith in one system.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're running. You've got your biogas, you've got your solar, you've got your wind energy. If you have a river beside you, you have a turbine in it. You're doing everything at once, just to get enough, or even just to store enough for a rainy day as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I live in an area that's particularly cloudy. Well, in Northern Ireland. So there's nowhere any better than anywhere else, or any worse than anywhere else.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ, you're lucky.
You always get enough, you know. Even in winter, like today was not a great day, but we had a few hours of sunshine and it's topped our batteries up.
It went from being absolutely roast you to being Baltic here in the space of a couple of minutes. So
it was dark at one point. There was literally nothing coming off our solar panels, and we went from that to flat out in, you know, a couple of hours. What should we be paying for PV per kilowatt? Oh, I honestly don't know at the moment. What's that? For an actual PV panel, the 400 watt panels are they're a couple of €100, something like that. So what's that? 400 watt. So 2.5 hours. I can't. It's too late at night for this kind of. Solar does generate on not very much, but it does generate. Hang on. Well, the moon's out right now, and it's really bright, and it's pointing at my solar panels. So I'll tell you whether that's true or not. This is where. Hang on. There's not. There's definitely nothing coming in now. Not on 9 kilowatts.
Nothing.
Anyway. Nothing.
It's clear, isn't it, tonight?
Oh, it's very clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably. I don't know if it's measurable at a very small level, but yeah,
I really don't want to get into this barrel tomorrow morning. I think.
No, I don't blame you.
Tomorrow afternoon.
How many more have you got to go?
What?
How many more do you have to do?
23.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God.
I did it for 10 days before. It's not like I just started on the first. I worked up to it. Like I was in it at 6:45 this morning in the pitch dark and the piss and rain for 12 minutes. Just sitting in my barrel. I need a bigger barrel. This is the thing. So I need a bigger barrel because I can only just sort of get to here.
Get an IBC. The other guy I know who does this has got himself an IBC with the top cut off.
That's a good idea, isn't it? It's too big, but because it's in my garden. I only have a wee garden, like, so I think if I had a nice oak barrel, it would look, at least it would look better than my plastic rain barrel, you know, that I took with me from Ackle.
You could timber clad it.
I might timber clad it, actually. No, I need the timber to burn me fire. Listen, I'm going to leave that there. I am going to hook up with you again, Steve, and we're going to talk about this some more. And I'm going to come up and do we'll do a tour. And I'll talk to the guys that were on here tonight, and I'll see what they're most interested in, and we'll get a tour done, and we'll look through your systems and stuff. And you have to show me all this gallons and gallons of wine that you've made. Okay,
what's my favorite hobby, Doug? Guitars, Doug. I got a weakness for guitars.
Doug's a guitar guy as well.
Is he? Oh, I'm tinkering with guitars. So
you were selling a guitar there, weren't you? Like a really nice guitar.
I was selling a Les Paul there, but to pay for another guitar, you know how it goes.
Yes.
So yeah. No,
I was actually thinking of buying it, but then I already have 2 guitars that I use for collecting.
And what guitars have you got there?
I use them for collecting dust, you see.
What have you got?
I have a Jackson.
Uh-huh.
And I have a Yamaha acoustic.
Oh, very good.
And I have an Ibanez semi-acoustic somewhere that I lent to somebody, and I'm not really sure where it's gone to. But yeah, it was the real dust collector. It did sit. Definitely was hanging on my wall for 10 years before it got any use. Listen, thank you very much, Steve. That was brilliant. I hope that answered some of your questions, guys, and it probably raised a hell of a lot more.
Well, hopefully.
So we are going to say thank you and good night, Steve. Here, listen, enjoy your evening. Thanks very much.
Take care, and thank you, everybody. It's good to kind of meet you. I will do the tour. And next time, you can play the guitar.
Give me a thumbs up when you're done, because I can't hear anything.
All right. Take care.
Good luck.
All right. See ya.
Stay frosty, guys. Stay frosty.
See ya.